full gear support right there.
And Carolyn Taylor at Binswanger, who we spoke to, said she can still see the officers, as you mentioned, Jed, from her windows there on Amnicola, parading the area. They are looking everywhere, leaving nothing unturned. And if the search should need to spread away from the Amnicola area, certainly they are going to do that as well. If you have been talking to perhaps someone who watched early, then has not been able to keep up with the coverage, we'll touch again on what happened and still is happening to a degree up in Bradley County. We had reports that there had been a shooting. That information has now been altered. There was no shooting. However, Bradley Square Mall remains on lockdown. So David Carroll reported does Lee University as well.
And the U.S. Navy has now corrected an earlier tweet. This is what I was talking about earlier. In this age of Twitter, we depend on these agencies who like to get their information out as quickly as possible. They made a mistake, the Navy. And so they have corrected and confirmed, yes, the shooting was at their building there on Amnicola Highway near the river park. A few minutes ago, there was some conflicting information that came out of the Navy. So, yes, we know that that shooting was at the Naval Reserve building near the river park on Amnicola Highway. Also, the Chattanooga-Hamilton County Health Department, as you might expect, right there near Erlanger on 3rd Street, they are on lockdown right now. So if you have any appointments for, the WIC program or anything else.
Back to school immunizations.
The immunizations that are taking place at the health department, they are closed for any patients entering or leaving the health department.
And David, we want to mention also that what one witness said was a high-powered rifle that she saw, shots being fired from a silver Mustang. So apparently that is what Chattanooga Police and Hamilton County officers are looking for right now, a silver Mustang.
So this witness saw shots being fired from the car.
A witness said that she saw a man with a high-powered rifle fire multiple shots from a silver Mustang. She was watching through a window from inside a restaurant. And David just mentioned that they are on the lookout now for a suspect driving that color car, a Mustang. So that's probably why the intersections are at a standstill right now.
Can I piggyback on something you just brought up about the Navy and their change of statement now? So the shooting they are confirming happened at the Naval Yard there on Amnicola.
Yes.
But we also had reports of the shooting on Lee Highway. So we've had 2 shooting incidents. Is that correct?
We've had one at 6219 Lee Highway, which is in fact, I'm enlarging the picture right now. That is the Armed Forces Career Center, Army Recruiting Center on Lee Highway.
There are several of those recruiting centers right next to each other in that huge parking center right off 153.
And that is where they found some shell casings. That is where we're told it all started this morning. And then, for whatever reason, something spread over to the Naval Recruiting Center on Amnicola Highway. See, this is what has a lot of people concerned. These military recruiting centers, there may be one at Bradley Square Mall. Perhaps that's the reason for the concern and the
and the
just
lockdown.
Being on the safe side there, the lockdown there. So, that's what. I'm not going to say they're being targeted, but obviously there's looking like a little bit of a link there, and that's why there's so much concern about this. You don't know if this is some sort of attack that has originated within the city or something that has maybe a little more widespread.
And I'm sorry, David, to keep coming to you, but you're the man with the phone in your hand. Do we have time? So we know that the shooting at Lee Highway happened first.
Yes.
And then the one on Amnicola, do we know how much time was in between the 2 shootings?
I have that here somewhere, but I don't want to say for sure.
I'm sorry to make you study. I just didn't know.
I'm not sure exactly.
And like you at home, we're trying as we take this information in, and quite honestly, it's coming in slowly. And yet we're wanting to stay on the air to continue to bring you everything as we get it in. And we're doing our own homework while we're talking to you this afternoon.
Okay, and inside Bradley Square Mall, there is a Tennessee National Guard. Okay, I believe Josh Roden is on the phone right now. I believe he is in Bradley County. And Josh, what can you tell us? Good to hear from you.
Yeah, Jed, right now I'm over here on Lee Highway at the National Guard, in front of the National Guard Armed Forces Career Center right now. The scene is all taped off. Police presence is very heavy here. Hamilton County Sheriff's Office is here on the scene, so as well as the Chattanooga Police Department. I've reached out to some eyewitnesses. Eyewitnesses told me that around 10:45 this morning, this man came into the parking lot. He loaded up his gun, and then he just started firing off shots. People said that they were scared. They started running and things like that. But right now, what I can tell you is I'm looking right now at the parking lot There's about a dozen homes on the ground right now. I guess that's the area where it's marking where the bullet shells that currently lie right now. But investigators right now are all on the scene, and they are investigating. They're trying to figure out more information. I'm going to stay out here trying to gather eyewitnesses and gather more information. We'll have more of that coming up tonight at 5 o'clock for our viewers.
And Josh, I apologize. I thought you were in Bradley, but do you know any connection to Bradley Square Mall? Do you know why we keep hearing that that is on lockdown as well? Are they a concern with a recruitment center there?
Well, Jed, you know, eyewitnesses told me that they've been hearing that this guy left from here and he went to Bradley County. I haven't confirmed that through the sheriff's office or Chattanooga Police Department, but this is what eyewitnesses are telling us right now, is that this guy ended up firing his shots here and that he took off and went to Bradley County. But, of course, that hasn't been confirmed. This is what eyewitnesses are hearing, and this is what they're telling us right now.
And, Josh, this is Julie, and I'm sorry to make you repeat it, but did I hear you say that there are some homes near where you are?
Yes, there are blue cones on the ground right now. About a dozen of them are on the ground, and I'm not sure if that's where the bullets actually lie currently right now, but that's the area where investigators right now are investigating to try to gather more information.
Okay.
The cones marking the shells.
And I'm sorry, in my IFB, I thought he said homes, and I couldn't quite place where he was on Lee Highway.
Right there, 153 and Lee Highway.
Got it.
That big complex. Josh, thank you very much for that report, and we'll be checking in with you later. We are hearing from the Times Free Press that the police officers with automatic rifles are moving media away from Erlanger, and we're hearing from Cleveland State that they had the Athens Center of Cleveland State, Athens, Tennessee, on lockdown, but that has been lifted. So, you know, a lot of concern there. Dan Kennedy's back at Erlanger with an update for us. Let's go to Dan.
Yeah, just to clarify on that last point, there are 2 heavily armed police officers with Chattanooga Police Department guarding the ER entrance at Erlanger Hospital. They do have high-powered assault rifles in their arms. We went to go get more information from them. They turned us away. So Erlanger asking us to stay across the street where we are now, and we're going to respect that. This will be the media staging area for the rest of the day. We went up to approach CEO Kevin Spiegel with Erlanger to try and get a little more information on the situation. He referred us to the Chattanooga Police Department. I know Channel 3 Eyewitness News reporter Kelly McCarthy will be meeting with their public information officer shortly on Amnicola Highway to get more information. Also, about 10 minutes ago, Mayor Andy Burke arrived in a police car in the front seat. He was met by Spiegel, and the 2 went inside the hospital at this time. Just spoke with the mayor's public relations person. He will not be available for an interview at this time. He's inside Erlanger, waiting to meet with Chattanooga Police Chief Fred Fletcher, at which point we do hope to get more information from both Chief Fletcher and from Mayor Andy Burke. This is an officer-involved shooting. It's very possible that officer is inside this hospital getting treated at this point, which leads us to believe it's possible that Chief Fletcher will come to Erlanger Hospital. Now, Chief Fletcher was in Knoxville today for some sort of gang meeting, I'm told, though he is rushing back to the scene. It's about, an hour, 45-minute trip from Knoxville, which means he should be arriving in Chattanooga just about any moment at this time. We expect him to come here at the crime scene or to CPD headquarters. At which point we hope to get more information. We can hear sirens off to the distance, but this could be completely unrelated. It looks like another ambulance will be pulling in, but here we are an hour and 45 minutes after the situation. That could very well just be another patient from another situation, though at Erlanger, the hospital is on lockdown. The Hamilton County Health Department right next door is on lockdown, so if you plan on coming here, you might want to call ahead. There's a very good chance your appointment will be canceled. Family members we saw arriving not too long ago. They were met by police officers at the scene, at the door, and they were led inside. There's also a blue sheet that is protecting the integrity of the scene. So here comes another ambulance. Of course, we don't know, once again, if this is possibly related to the active shooter scene. It's from A&E Emergency Services, their EMS division, just now arriving. It will be interested to see if they are met by police escort, by police officers. If they are, that would be indication that this could be related. At about 11:45 this morning, about an hour ago, I saw the last ambulance pull in with the last patient being unloaded from the car. And since then, we haven't seen any ambulance activity. In fact, that person was taken out on a stretcher, was wheeled inside the emergency room, and we're happy to report that one person did appear to be stabilized. We passed ambulances on Amnicola Highway as they were heading towards Erlanger. Of course, we're not far at all from Erlanger Hospital. Also want to pass along what we're getting on Twitter. Senator Bob Corker tweeting out saying his prayers are with his hometown of Chattanooga. Mayor Burke saying this is an unfortunate situation. He's working to get more information as well. So the eyes of the nation, the eyes of D.C. on Chattanooga, Tennessee right now as we work to learn more information about what's going on here, and we'll provide it from Erlanger Hospital. Back to you all.
Hey, Dan, this is Jed. Let me just tell you, we were told... Can you hear me, Dan?
Guys.
Okay.
He's already
Yeah,
gone.
actually, this is Chief Fred Fletcher,
Oh,
just now arriving on the scene. Like we said, he'd be arriving any minute. That is Nathan Vaughn, also on the CPD command staff. Chief Fletcher giving a man a pat on the back. Chief Fletcher, like we mentioned, just arriving from Knoxville, Tennessee, where he had a previously scheduled meeting. Nathan Vaughn and Chief Fred Fletcher now arriving, entering the emergency room. Back to you all.
Thank you, Dan.
Callie Starnes just came walking in, David, with some information you wanted to share.
Right. Apparently there had been some fears and perhaps rumors that Athens, Tennessee, or some of the businesses there were on lockdown, or that there was concern about an active shooter. And we've heard from police officials there in Athens and McMinn County, and they say that is not true, and that everything is calm in the Athens area. So we're glad to report that. Now, I'm told that UTC is not on lockdown. Let's go to Chuck Cantrell with UTC's University Relations Office. Chuck, what's going on at UTC?
Well, we are doing our best to maintain regular operations despite there's a lot of interest and concern about what's going on. But at this point, UTC is in regular operations. We are monitoring the situation. We're in communication with the emergency responders. But at this point, they told us there's no reason for us to go into any kind of special operations. So classes are being held. We're in a regular schedule.
You just want to be careful how you get to UTC, because those folks who travel 3rd Street are probably going to have a hard time getting there.
Yeah, they'll have to come. We sent out the notice to folks to, be avoiding Amnicola Highway, look at what other traffic paths you could take to get to campus. It might mean some folks are late or might have a little bit of trouble getting here. But at this point, come to class if you're not in the lockdown area.
All right, and I'm sorry, UTC is not on lockdown, but of course those businesses right near UTC, we're talking about Erlanger, the health department, they're all on lockdown right now.
And Chuck, this is Julie. I know that because UTC, while you do have kids on campus, it's also a commuter school, so of course you have your student safety as your first concern. Are you in pretty frequent communication right now with the police department so that if this thing shifts your way, you can act?
Absolutely. We have an emergency operations plan and center that we can activate in no time. We're in constant communication with the emergency responders. Right now they're telling us that we're fine. The Erlanger situation may have to do with bringing in of injured, and that would not affect us. And so although we're in the proximity of some of the lockdown, we've been told that we're in fine condition right now.
And of
so
course,
operation is regular.
And speaking